What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Still a nation. What is poppin', man? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the still basement. What's happening? What's going on, as my man Bernie Mac would say. What's going on? What's happening, good people, man? Hope everybody is well. Hope you're doing good. I hope y'all are ready to have a good time tonight. Short and sweet. The only reason why I say short and sweet because there's only but one thing to talk about. All of these unanswered questions, and it is at least 4 of them that I'm going to talk about here tonight. Then we'll open it up to the phone lines and see what you guys have to say there. And then after that, we done. But what's going on, man? Let's say hello to the early commenters. We have Drama Seidel. What's going on, man? Jared Devil, the infamous Tim, Brent Fox. What's going on, Brent? Hello, Lanisha, the lovely Lanisha in the building. Lovely lady in the chat, guys. Make sure y'all lay out the red carpet for the ladies. Take care of them. Say hello. Mark Cunningham, my man Y Diggy in the building. Who else is up in here? Jeremy Espinoza, Vista Light. My partner in crime, Kenyon in the building, man. Antoine Hill. And that's about it right now in terms of early names. I'm sure more will come in. And I got to start saying this stuff early. Hey, man, if you like the content over here, make sure you hit the like button. That's number 1. Number 2, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe. And also make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when the next videos are streamed or are available. Hey, if you choose to donate, I have to tell you how to do it. Right there at the bottom of the YouTube chat, you can do a super chat. If you prefer Cash App, PayPal, that information is in the description. It is up to you. But let's get to the show, man. Listen, a lot of unanswered questions. And if you guys have seen the thumbnail, that's one of the biggest unanswered questions. Is that thumbnail. But let's get to it. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything, man. Any pertinent news. Hold on, guys. I saw one of you guys mention something in the chat about Arthur Smith. I'll read that comment. Jeremy Espinoza says, Arthur Smith's starting offense hasn't scored a single point in 2 games, but he's still preaching patience. Well, I will say this, Jeremy, and let me start on that point before I get into my unanswered questions. I would also say, I'm not going to preach patience, but I will say, let's be a little patient. Here's the reason why. And I'm going to make sure, hopefully I remember to talk about this at the end of the show for those who may come in later. Let's not look at what has happened in these 2 preseason games and point the finger directly at Arthur Smith. The reason why I say that is I'm not sure I have an issue with the play calls. If you really take a look at in totality, you look at the game and you rewatch it and you kind of look at the plan. I'm not at a point where I'm calling for his head from a play call standpoint, because I am seeing some variety of different things in terms of not necessarily running the same thing over and over and over. I do see some different things happening, particularly with the play action pass game. Seeing a lot of that, and I think that's going to be big for the Steelers. But what we're seeing so far, particularly in this most recent game against the Bills, and that's the one we can stay right on because that's the most recent, as well as that was against first team action for the first quarter and a half or so, we're seeing poor execution. We're seeing guys getting beat up. Like the guy that I will talk about definitely here on the show, Broderick Jones. So it's when you see that, it's hard to do this to Arthur Smith. Remember, even in Matt Canada's tenure, do you guys remember how patient I was with Matt Canada? You guys remember that? And remember, I was starting to say, well, give him some time, right? And then as time went on, we started seeing the same repetitiveness over and over and over. We started seeing the route combinations or lack thereof, where all we were running was vertical routes on third and intermediate. We started seeing the same thing over and over and over again. what I'm actually seeing early from Arthur Smith, even when it hasn't worked, I'm seeing him do some of the things that Kenyon would remember that I praised Kyle Shanahan about. Arthur Smith is actually running different plays out of the same formation. He's giving the same look, but doing something different. That is the makings of a good offense, keeping guys on their toes. San Francisco, man, the 49ers are wizards at doing that. It's still early, though, so I can't really say how good or bad Arthur Smith is going to be, but I can say I am seeing characteristics out of him that I can get behind. We'll see if the offense can execute it. But it's way too early to put the crown on Arthur Smith or remove it from his head. Way too early for that. All right, so let's get into it, man. So, listen, a lot of unanswered questions, man, and I'm going to start with, let's see, which one is the most, I mean, you can pick any order here. Who is the start corner? Who is the starting slot cornerback? Who is it? I'm going to pull up something here. Hold on. Because I want to make sure I have the quote correctly. Let me find it. Let me find it, guys. I want to make sure I got the quote. Where is it? Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. I think it's right here. Now, this comes from Terrell Austin. They asked Terrell Austin about sifting through the slot cornerbacks. His reply was, and I didn't see this interview, but it was posted on Twitter. Shout outs to Aaron Becker, at Aaron M. Becker. He says, and he quotes, Terrell Austin says, "It's not hard because there's nobody there. I mean, it's easy. Whoever shows up gets it." That's about where we are right now. We'll see how that shakes out. That's going to go down to the last second. So based off of that answer, again, I did not see or watch the interview. It looks like the clip is there. And actually, hold on. Let's play the clip.
Having a delayed start date, can you?
It's not hard because there's nobody.
Having a delayed start date,
hold on. You guys can hear that, right? So let's play the clip.
Having a delayed start date, can you?
It's not hard because there's nobody there. So I mean, it's easy. Whoever shows up gets it. That's about where we are right now. So we're, TG's, knock on wood, been able to stay up and stay healthy, and everybody else has been kind of in and out because of injuries. So we'll see how that shakes out. That's going to go down to the last second. See who's available.
All right, so there you have it, guys. So basically, same thing I read, and they didn't play the full part of the question, so maybe this is up on Steelers.com. We can listen to it. But I gather what they asked him was, how are you deciding who to rotate in and out? And the gist of it is, whoever is available gets the gig. Now, I'm not getting on Terrell Austin about that. I'm not getting on his case or anything like that. I'm making the mere point of that is the question that we've been asking for weeks now. Who is it? And now that injuries are in play, now we really got questions. Because this Graham kid he's saying, well, that's how we ended up playing him. Because remember, I was asking in the post-game show, where was Beanie Bishop? And then you guys told me, and I also found out that they held him out. He's nursing a minor injury. Cam Sutton is suspended. There's one other person I thought that was, what's his name? Arnold, who we heard was making noise. Graylin Arnold. They released him on an injury settlement. Who is going to be the starting slot cornerback for this team? Whether that be due to health or performance. We don't have the answer right now. That's concerning. Again, like I said, I'm not beating up Terrell Austin or Mike Tomlin or maybe not even Omar Khan. It's just the fact that out of all of these guys, we are yet to say who's the guy. That's concerning going into a few weeks removed from week one, right? And again, it makes me question the signing of Cam Sutton. I really want to know why. That's the only question I've had for Omar Khan since he's taken over as the GM. If you knew disciplinary action was coming, maybe you didn't know how much, but what was the signing for? Are we expecting Cam Sutton to come down, like a savior after 8 games? And he helps take us to the promised land. You understand what I'm saying, guys? I could see if this was a bona fide, the superstar in the league, right? And you're like, okay, as long as we get him back for such and such time, kind of like how they do in basketball. As long as we get him back for the playoffs, we good. That ain't Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton don't move the needle like that, do he? So I don't understand that signing. I really don't. And you guys heard me say this about a month or so ago. Once we found out he was suspended and how long, make it make sense. Yeah, it was pennies on the dollar. I get it, but make it make sense. I don't know. Crazy work. And like my man would say, I can't remember his name, but it's the dude, man, that I be seeing on social media all the time. And he always talk about, that's nasty work. I know he's from New York. I just can't remember his name. That dude is hilarious. Nasty work, bruh. Why would you do that? Moving on. Moving on to the next, like I said, I could pick any order I want to talk about this. I guess the next person we'll talk about, man, is, let me see. Who do I want to address? Let's take this one. Zach Frazier. This is all I have to say to you, Zach Frazier. Hey, you wanted the job, you wanted to be the man, you wanted to be in the big leagues. Well, you have your opportunity due to the fact that Nate Herbig could be down for the season, is what we're hearing. Wow. Now, I know some of you guys might not care about that. Some of you guys are probably like, good, let Zach Frazier play. And I'm open to that too. In no way, shape, or form is this an indictment on Zach Frazier. It's just a recognition of now you must thrust the rookie center into action. And then who's behind him? I think Ryan Anderson has been getting snaps at center. Because remember, guys, just remember, hopefully we don't have to deal with this, but let's just remember why Zach Frazier, in many people's eyes, fell and got drafted a little bit later, a little bit behind some of the other centers. Supposedly he's, not supposedly, but we all know there's some injury history there. So what happens if, for whatever reason, unfortunately, he suffers an injury? Now we're looking at Anderson. And again, I don't know what Anderson is or isn't. I'm just saying one layer of that security blanket has been peeled off. So we got questions, brother. We got unanswered questions. Oh, somebody said Ryan McCullum. Okay, so is it McCullum or Anderson? I know one of those dudes has been getting looks at center. Here's the other thing. This is just a little sidebar. Jaylen Warren. I didn't even have this one on my list, but it's just coming to mind now. Jaylen Warren, which, the last report is saying that he's expected not to miss a long amount of time, but we all know how hammies work. Hammies heal when they want to heal. And we all have been able to see that as we have watched sports, particularly football, and some of us may have even experienced it when playing sports, particularly football. A hammy ain't one of them things you could just say, all right, I'm ready. It decides when it's healed. It could linger. So if, let's say, Jaylen Warren misses any significant amount of time, who's the number 2? I mean, do we really want Cordero Patterson? No disrespect to him, but I mean, I've never thought much of him as a runner in the backfield. And at 33 years of age. So now that means we're going to have to look at one of these kids that we're going to be seeing this weekend, right? You know, we're going to have to look at, what's the guy's name? The Wards. And I can't pronounce one of those dudes' names. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And the Pirons. And you know, I kind of like that kid from Georgia, Edwards. I kind of like him, man. He doesn't seem to be higher on the depth chart in terms of the backups, but I kind of like, you know, the way he runs a little bit. So who's it going to be? Oh, there it is. Look, David Jones just said the same thing. The guy out of Georgia. Yeah, that's Edwards. So we got a lot of unanswered questions. All right, here's the next one I had on my list. And this question I'm going to ask you guys, don't go with your, let's use our minds and not go with the knee-jerk reaction. Who is QB1? Seriously. Who is it? Give some analysis. Don't just blurt out a name, because I'm going to give you mine really quick. I think I mentioned as much after the game. In the current state of this offensive line, I might have to put Justin Fields out there. And the little side that you just saw me do, that has nothing to do with who I like over the other. It's more of a, now we're in a situation where we got to go with who's the best option to give us a fighter's chance with the current conditions of the offensive line. Because let me tell you something. The offensive line holds up. Russell Wilson is a veteran. Russell Wilson can get you out of some stadiums. We can win games with him. A very accurate deep ball thrower. You know, he's always been pretty good throwing the ball downfield. In fact, that was a pretty nice throw to George Pickens. That George Pickens just barely didn't haul it in. And it's only because they didn't call possession here. They had to wait until the ball got here. Had they ruled that he had it, he never lost possession, and both feet were in. That was a heck of a throw. Russell Wilson put it in a spot where only GP was going to get it. Back shoulder. So there's no doubt in my mind that I think Russell Wilson can play solid with an offensive line that gives him time. And if he could keep his mind set locked in to where he's not taking some sacks, because some of the sacks that he has, especially in Denver, are on him. But with all of that said, my opinion today would be Justin Fields. Speaking of throws, you go back and look at that throw. I noticed it when I rewatched. I also saw people posting it on social media that I definitely agree with. That throw into the end zone wasn't really a miss by Justin Fields. See, and this is why I like to reserve my judgment until I rewatch film. I didn't realize in real time that number 15, whoever that was, kind of hesitated and slowed down a bit. And then he did that jump like he was going to, I tried. He did that. The internet is good. The internet even stitched together a play exactly like that Justin Fields threw in Chicago, and he hit homie right in the hands. And I don't know who it was. It might have been Mooney or one of them. Kept running, ran full speed, and he never had to check up. You go look at that play, or again, like I said, if you want to go catch it on social media, if number 15 continues to run through that route, he makes the catch. He makes the catch probably. Somebody says if he throws it to Pickens, it's a touchdown. Yeah. So like I said, I'm a realist, and I keep it real with you all, my family. That's why my post-game show is titled Post-Game Reactions. It's the knee-jerk reaction. And I might start calling it that. I might start adding such and such post-game knee-jerk reaction. Because it's reactionary to what we saw in real time without analyzing film. Because there's always things you're going to miss. To me, that just looked like a missed touchdown. I had no idea that homeboy you talk about alligator arms, well, he must have had alligator legs too. He stubby, slowed up. It was a nice throw by Fields, man. And he put the ball out there. So based off of that alone, because Fields can also use his legs, whether it's a design run or a zone read, boot action, I might have to go with Fields with the current uncertainty of the offensive line as of today. Now, might that change by the time the season starts? We'll see. Might we feel differently after this week's preseason game? We'll see. And if I'm Mike Tomlin, Mike T. Hey, coach, let me get close and say this. Maybe you'll see this, maybe your sons come across this show and bring it to your attention. I don't know. Somebody that knows you might, I don't know. If you're seeing this, Coach T, I'm keeping that first team offense out there for at least a full quarter. Daggone right. I don't care if it is preseason number 3. I don't care if it is the presumed or assumed let the backups burn. No, sir. Because just like one of my people said here in the chat, we ain't put up no points. I need to see my first team offense do something in a real stadium. I don't care if it's against backups or not. I need to see them in action and look better than the way they looked last Saturday night. So I don't care if you a veteran or not. You playing this weekend. Show me. That's what I need you to do for me, Coach T. I ain't living in no fears either. Somebody get hurt, they get hurt. They gonna show me that they can play football. First team. And you know what? I might even split up the series. I might give part of the first team reps to Russ, part of them to Justin. I need to see both of y'all. Let me see who look like what. Because I'm going to borrow from what Terrell Austin just said. Let the decision come down to that. Let me be in my Janet Jackson mind state and say, what have you done for me lately? That's how I'm going to decide. But that's just me, coach. That's just me. All right, the last one. What in the world? Let me get close and whisper to y'all. What in the world has happened to Broderick Jones? Oh, it's preseason, they say. Oh, give him a chance, they say. Oh, it's still early, they say. Well, let me tell you what I say. I said this after the game, and I'm going to say it again tonight. That kid played the majority of games last season, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was a split. But I'm willing to say he played at least 9 games. Am I right or wrong? So the same level of coddling I would do to a Zach Frazier this year, I don't give that same to Broderick Jones. Oh, no. Oh, no. Why? You played better than that last season against dogs. Matter of fact, I don't recall you looking that bad in the playoff game. Playoff atmosphere. Oh, crowd going. Bills Mafia, Von Miller. I don't recall you looking that bad in Buffalo in a game that mattered. But somehow in preseason, and Broderick Jones was quoted as saying he may be dealing with injuries. Now I really got to take a step back and say, oh Lord, oh Lord. Because I know quite a few of y'all prefer not to see Dan Moore on the field. But let me tell you something y'all don't want to hear. Dan Moore starting the season at left tackle. Fautanu is coming off of injury. Do we think that if Fautanu is ready, that we automatically put Broderick at left tackle and roll with Fautanu after seeing how he performed at right tackle? That's not his natural position, they say. Well, let me tell you what I say. He didn't play in his natural position most of last season and played well. Played so well, we didn't even care about Chooks. Sat him down. Played so well, we said, oh Lord, I'm scared that he's playing so good, they might not move him to left tackle. That's what we said. We all said that. So I'm not giving that guy a pass for how he looked in preseason. But wait, I'm not out on him. I'm not. I'm just saying, sometimes you need that tough love. Bruh, what's up with you, dog? But he's going against Greg Russo, they might say. Okay, so what about the rookie kid that got the sack on him? Huh? We got an answer for that? The rookie. Huh? I don't like it. That's all I'm saying. I don't like what I'm seeing, but I'm not hitting the panic button. Don't hit the panic button, folks. Don't hit the panic button. Because, in fact, it is early. Even though I'm saying I'm not giving passes, it is early. We cannot hit the panic button in preseason. I see all the comments. People sending me messages. Oh, man, you see what they say on this site? I don't care what they say. I respectfully listen to some people, but their opinion matters not to me because I have my own opinion. And they might say the same about my opinion. That's fair. We all got them. But just because people are saying this and they saying that, I don't get compromised by that. I trust these. My own two eyes. And my own two eyes tell me that, let's keep an eye on that. And my own brain tells me, let's see how this thing progresses. I'm not calling it in preseason. I'm not. Especially with a rookie, class potentially, a Zach Frazier. Fautanu might be out there, a second-year man in Broderick Jones, even though I ain't giving him as much of a pass. It does take time for the O-line to gel, but again, it's easy to point the finger at Broderick because that was one-on-one action right there. I mean, Russo put him in the spin cycle, especially on that second sack. Lord have mercy. Oh, it was bad. But we'll see. Maybe that'll be a motivator to him. We'll see. All right. Those are my unanswered questions, man. I don't know if we're going to get answers. I really don't. Oh, whoa. We got a lot of phone calls in here tonight. A lot of phone calls. So listen, y'all know the routine, man. If y'all want me to get through them, I need y'all to get through them. And I can't even promise I'm going to get through them all. But short and sweet to the point. I'll be short and sweet to the point with my reply. Let's get after it, man. First call in the queue. Looks like we have area code 318. What's happening?
Whoa, what's up, Bob?
What's going on,
Can you
brother?
hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, not much. Man, just a quick review. Man, it's just like with both quarterbacks, it's like with Russ, I can't really get a touch like you said because offense, the old line really Broderick Jones. Everybody else is really holding their own. Couldn't really get a good assessment of what he can do because he was getting sacked. But what I am seeing when our offense do hold up, like we are pushing the ball down the field in the middle of the field more, and we are actually running routes. So that's a positive. But it's preseason, man. Y'all, I was like, we can't, because last year we was the preseason champs. You know what I'm saying? Then week 1 we got our backs blown out. So it's not panic until like week 6. Y'all have a good night.
Perfect call, man. Perfect way to sum that up. Y'all ain't lying. And I think some of y'all reminded me of that last week or after the game. Well, we were perfect in preseason, won't it? Won't he do it? Kenny Pickett had us believing. And look how it turned out. But like you said, man, listen, it's what I said earlier in the show. I'm seeing offensive concept that don't look half bad. We just got to see it executed. So I am definitely not going to sit here and blame Arthur Smith. Not at this moment. Absolutely not. Next up, area code 302. What you got for us?
Hey, Simpsons, there's a lot of phone calls, and I'll be really quick. My question is, what do you need to see from either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson to justify giving either of them a long-term deal? And by long-term, I imagine 4 to 5 years. What would you need to see from either Justin Fields or Russell Wilson this year to justify that? That's all I have for you. Thank you.
Ooh, good question. I'm going to try to answer it as fast as possible. What I would need to see from Russell Fields, although some people might say it's unfair, I need to... Did I just say Russell Fields? I guess it's true what they say. You got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. What I need to see from... Oh, my God. Yeah, I go with the names, man. First is Peyton Willis. Russell Fields. Maybe... Maybe that's who we need to sign. Maybe we need to sign Russell Fields, But what I need to see from Russell Wilson, man, is might not be fair. Win a playoff game. Russell Wilson has to take us to the playoffs and win a game in order for me to say, all right, let's give him a long-term deal. And when I say long-term, I'm talking 2 or 3 more years, maybe extension, 2-year extension, something like that. Because Russell Wilson is older. I'm ready to get new blood in the system. You know what I mean? New blood. I'm ready to get new blood in the system. Right? Young blood. So let's flip it to Justin Fields. Justin Fields just needs to show me that he can be a solid QB. What I'm saying is a decent accuracy percentage. Decent quarterback, a touchdown to interception ratio, limit turnovers, rush yards. If he show me that, I'm willing to sign him because of his youth and his legs. Plain and simple. Justin Fields, all he has to do for me to believe in a long-term deal is we are coming after the game and saying, man, did you see what Fields was like? Boy, if we just give him time. If we are saying that at any point during the season, sign him to a long-term deal. Somebody said I'm high. Not even, brother. All right, next on the queue, man. What we got? Area code 864. What you got for us?
Hey, Sam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm gonna be very quick with this, man. Everybody want to beat up on Broderick Jones, But Broderick Jones was Mike Tomlin moved up in the draft to get Broderick Jones to replace Dan Moore. But now he in a situation he don't have his right tackle, so he gonna put Broderick Jones at right tackle because Dan Moore can't play right tackle. And I think he should get Dan Moore. If Broderick Jones can learn how to play right tackle, Dan Moore needs to learn how to play right tackle. And to me, it's like he's catering everything towards Dan Moore. And he's supposed to be the player that's supposed to be being replaced by Broderick Jones. And at the end of the day, the left tackle get paid more money. So if Broderick Jones might be just taking a dive because of the situation. That's all I got to say. I'm out.
Man, appreciate the call, man. And I'm going to say something, too, that I appreciate. I love that accent you got there, man. When you Dan Moore. I love that. The reason why I say I love that, man, because, you know, I got family all over the place. A lot of my family is in Virginia. I got family, that migrated from New York and stuff. But the Virginia side, like where my grandma lived, they lived more in the rural area. Some would say country, right? And they had that type of vernacular, that we cut off words, and I love it. I love that Southern talk. I don't even know if you're from the South or not, man, but I love how you said, damn Mo. We don't need that or at the end. Damn Mo. I love it. You right, though. You are absolutely correct, brother. Maybe Dan Moore can't play right tackle, but what I agree with is yes. Why can't somebody said it in the chat? It might have been you. Somebody said, why can't he be versatile? Great question. Unless he just can't do it. But I will say this as well. The only thing that I can't give Roderick Jones, yes, we want to see him at left tackle. Yes, we all assume they drafted him to be a left tackle. However, the only thing that's still stuck in my mind is Broderick played well last year at right tackle. That's all I'm saying. I'm only talking about the digression. That's like he went backwards. The regression, excuse me. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the words correct. He regressed. Same thing I said about Kenneth Pickett when I kept saying, dog, we seen you play better than this in preseason. We seen you play better. What was happening? So anytime I see a player do that, even if I believe in them, as I do, I think Broderick Jones might get it together. I got to question what happened, man. You look crazy in that game. That's all. I ain't throwing him out with the bathwater yet. Not yet. We still simmering. Next up, area code 757. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, it's Brandon coming from 757, like you said. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think we're probably worried about the wrong thing right now. I feel like I think we kind of got to go back to what they said at the beginning of the offseason when it comes to what this offense is trying to do. Our rushing attack still wasn't good these past couple of games. So really, a lot of this stuff, like a lot of what they did, it was not focused on the run game. It was a lot of passing, dinking and dunking, and these kind of weird formation, weird concepts. But if that run game isn't there, our whole offense is predicated off of that. So if we don't get to that run game now, you can flush all that other stuff out of the toilet because it starts there. So I think that should be our focus right now as far as all of that. Because if you run the ball, Broderick, a lot of that stuff is covered up. A lot of the faults that we're seeing in with Russ, with Fields, with a lot of these players, it'll be covered up by that run game. And that's exactly what we saw at the end of the season last year. That's all I got, man. I just wanted to bring that to people's attention. Thanks.
Man, absolutely. 757. Y'all know I give it up for my VA brethren. Doesn't matter what part you're from. I even seen somebody in the comments say, hey, anybody from Blackstone? Wherever you from in VA, I'm going to give it up because that's my home state. Even though I haven't been there in many, many years as far as live. I've lived in PA a long time, but 2 up, 2 down always, baby. But, I mean, I don't even got to say nothing to that point. He's absolutely correct. And it's clear that that's what we're trying to do. In case y'all didn't know that. because Arthur Smith is showing us really early and often play action, play action, play action. And what sets up play action? The run game. Even when the run game not working, which is the reason why you run it on first down. We started that game with play action. You do that because they are expecting to run. So like he said, the Steelers offense and the way we're constructed, we are a run first, run to pass team. That includes bully ball and everything. We're going to maul you down and then we're going to pull that thing, go over the top. Or hit you on that over route. But if that run game not working, and we got to just stand back there and drop back, like my man said, some of the ailments that some of these offensive linemen might have shows its ugly head. And we got to stand back there and hold the ball. And there was one of those times that it looked like Russ held the ball a little bit long. Looked like he might could have dumped it down to Jaylen Warren, but I don't know. Great call, man. Appreciate it. Next up, area code 559. What you got for us?
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I really don't want to pay no receiver no $28, $30 million. I really ain't trying to do that. I want to give Pickens his money. I want to make sure Pickens is good on his money. But at the same time, would you put Hines Ward on the other side of Pickens right now? Would you put a Hines Ward type? Maybe we got that in Wilson. He blocked, he could catch, run routes, physical. Maybe we got that in Wilson and not giving nobody that much money, but he a rookie. Got to learn the game. We'll see. Hopefully we ain't got to.
Hey, man, thanks for the call. And yes, to answer your question, I sure would. Could you imagine that? Because not even just, for the receiving ability. Imagine Hines Ward and the way we trying to run the ball. Imagine Hines Ward with George Pickens when we running 12 personnel. 2 receivers on the outside, 2 tights. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. I will take that right now. And you're right. Roman Wilson might be that. Roman Wilson was known for blocking in college. I'm with you. And hello, folks. What good is Brandon Ayuk going to do if we giving up, you know what I mean? If there ain't no time to get him the ball. So, again, I'm not saying I wouldn't take Ayuk. I'm just saying, bro, we have a more immediate need to make sure it's working properly. And maybe if that's the piece that'll take us over the top come the trade deadline, then you holler at him. Not right now. No, sir. Area code 443, what you got for us?
What's good? How you, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Not much. Happy evening. Good evening, to all the ladies in the chat. Real quick. I think Broderick Jones' situation, from what I got word, well, no, not from what I got word, from reading about his situation, I can't remember the guy. If you notice, he had a brace on his right arm. They said he couldn't get no power in his punch. He'd been dealing with an elbow injury that they didn't speak about during camp, supposedly. So if you look at the game again, he got a brace on his right arm. So they were saying he couldn't get no punch in his power. But I think what we missing that don't nobody want to talk about, that I think we talked about a while ago during last year, is Pat Meyer. To me, that's the elephant in the room. You got an offensive line that keeps struggling every year with even young guys that we've seen come in different places and do great. And you got a couple of veterans on your team with Malu that's supposed to be awesome. You mean to tell me that every year he's going to keep digressing or regressing? Like, come on, man. James Daniel never really been it, but he can't be that terrible to the point that they can't learn the techniques that Pat Meyer is supposed to be teaching them. And word is that he do teach techniques that are supposed to be a little more difficult than the average techniques to learn. But if that's the case, then let these dudes do what they do best and coach them up on that. But I think we should be looking at Pat Meyer. Appreciate you taking my call.
Man, no problem at all. You're very welcome. And, man, what a great point. Both points. I did see that as well. And I think I mentioned it. They said, he could supposedly be dealing with multiple injuries. He wouldn't really commit to it, saying that it's an excuse. And if that is the case, and he struggled a bit because of an injury, elbow, can't get his punch, his power, All is forgiven for the most part. And the only reason why I say that is because we saw him play better last year. So I'm just here raising the question, which fits the narrative. Unanswered question. We don't know. But if that is the case, because we've seen him do it better, I would assume that Broderick Jones can play better than he showed us this past Saturday night. Pat Meyer is a great question, because I definitely recall hearing Alex Kazur say this even when he first came. Way back at that training camp when he said, hey, you know, Pat Meyer's technique is different. Some of these guys are having trouble grasping, you know, the type of style, the way he wants you to attack, and yada, yada, yada. So maybe that is a situation. That is a fair question. And that's the thing. And that, you know, that happened by accident, because I didn't even know you were going to ask that question, but that's another unanswered question that we'll never know. Are these guys really struggling with the technique? You know what I mean? But it is absolutely fair in that regard to point at the coach when we've heard people report on, yes, his technique and style is a little harder than the norm. Fair question. We definitely see that elephant in the room. Last one, man, it looks like area code 561. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, it's Victory Asher. How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on, brother?
Good. Hey, I just want to go do a spinoff on what one of the last guys said about the O-line. Hey, fix the O-line, and I think Russell Wilson will be fine at QB1. The O-line is the primary thing the primary engine that's going to make the whole car go. Okay? Because, okay, what happens is, okay, you throw Justin Fields in there as QB1 because of his legs and his elusiveness. He gets hurt. Then Russell Wilson has to come back behind that same O-line and try to make something happen. So that wouldn't be fair to him. That wouldn't be fair to the team. Fix the O-line first. And spinning off of that, I think the new right tackle they got, the guy 6'5", 378 or something like that, Broderick Jones, I think he's a diamond in the rough. I think we should pay closer attention to him. I think he's going to end up being all right for our team. If he can play that right tackle position, then that opens up a lot of things for Broderick Jones, Troy Fautanu, and, you know, possibly get Dan Moore out of there. Because Dan Moore, it's not that I think it's not that he can't play or try to play right tackle, it's that he don't want to. Because all the money is at the left tackle. That's all I got.
Man, appreciate that call. That's great analysis there, man. I forgot about that big boy they got in the cut. That's a great, interesting perspective. And I could go along with that. You know, the money is right there. You know, it's funny. I was telling one of my son's friends in the neighborhood who is turning 13. My son is turning 11. He's playing football, but he's a big kid. You know, he's a big kid. Like, he's probably, I don't know, he's close to 6 foot already. And a thick kid, you know, tall. And I asked him, I said, hey, you know, so how you like football? He said, yeah, I like it. I really like it. I said, yeah, if it was me, I have you at left tackle and DN. And he said, that's where they playing me. And I said, yeah, because that's where the bread is at, brother. Because, you know, his family, he was telling us how his family, they all tall. You know, his pop's like 6'5", and, you know, the uncle is 6'6". I mean, they just big, Jamaican. They, not that matters to anybody, I'm just saying, they just big dudes. And you can see it in him already. And I was like, remember that. I said, you need to be doing this. That's where them dollars is at. Left tackle. But anyway, great point. Great point, man. That could very well be. I mean, listen, we know it's a business. You know what I mean? I don't know how much autonomy players have to say, I ain't doing that. But Darren Miller could very well be like, I ain't trying to go to that right side. Very well. So I'm with you there. All right, man, let's read a few comments and then we're done, man. Let's see what we got. Great show, great calls tonight. Everything flowed very well. Leonard Green said, didn't know LTs was getting the bag like that. Yeah, especially offensive linemen. Those are the spots, man. You know, left tackle, edge rusher, wide receiver, quarterback. Those are probably, am I missing one? Would y'all say the same? Those are probably the premier money spots in the NFL. Again, wide receiver, quarterback, edge, and left tackle. Those are probably the spots. Yeah. And Trent Williams was getting that paper though. Yep. Let's see. Steeler Nation says, Sim, what is something you would want more of? I think you said want more of other than wide receiver added or a different high-powered. Oh, which one would I want more? Another receiver added or a different high-powered lineman as of right now? That's a tough question because I don't know what linemen are out there, but if you're speaking in generalities, right now I'd rather have the stud offensive lineman right now more so than another wide receiver because, again, I think with the receivers we have, we can make some things happen. George Pickens alone, obviously, but you know, they keep talking about how well Van Jefferson had been doing. Calvin Austin was showing some things. Roman Wilson, hopefully when he gets back in the fold, there's enough receivers. Listen, think about Kansas City. Now, I know Kansas City has my man, Patty. They got Patty. But they didn't have no stud receivers, and them boys won the Super Bowl. So what I'm saying is, if the offensive line is tight, we're getting good quarterback play, good defense, I'm cool on the stud additional receiver. I would take the line. Let's see what else y'all got. Why Dicky says QB, LT, edge, and cornerbacks. Yeah, cornerbacks getting some paper too. Cornerbacks are getting some paper. I forget them too, but them wide receivers is getting that bag right now. Let's see what else y'all got. Sean Chandler says defense needs to be ranked first this season. I can see it happening. Okay. We shall see. We shall see. That'll be good. It's been a while since we've seen that. Mark says, oh, I believe. Okay, him and Kenyon are talking. He said, ass. Yeah, Kenyon was early on Juju, bro. Early. Okay, yeah, Diggy says wide receiver, then CB. Yeah, those are the money spots for sure. In the Green says, we got to be able to run the football. Justin Fields can't read defenses and gets rid of the ball fast. And Wilson lost a couple steps. Yeah, absolutely, man. Steeler Card says, we brought in 2 big free agents and invested multiple first-round picks in the line. How much more investment do y'all want? Yeah. Steeler Cards, this is what I'm going to give you for that comment. The reason why I'm going to big up Steeler Cards comment, and I hope he's watching, man. He knows I just like poking fun and kidding around with him. My father-in-law, man, Pop, that's what we call him around here. The kids call him that. Leonard Langley, here in the chat, probably. For the last 3 years, he'll say to me, man, we ain't doing nothing with that offensive line. It's the same old line. They ain't doing. I said, no, that's not true. What you're seeing is maybe the results, but we can't say they're not trying to do anything with the offensive line. They have addressed the O-line, whether free agency or draft, the last 3 years. 3, maybe 4, but at least 3. Now, did they miss on some of the attempts? Sure. But you can't say, and I always tell them, I say, look, I understand what you're saying, but you're saying it wrong. You can't say they ain't do nothing with that O-line. They ain't try to make it better. No, not true. They absolutely have. And it's definitely in the last two. Getting guys early in the draft just hasn't panned out.
90 seconds.
Oh, Blog Talk is cutting us off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. 864, I still see you in there. About to cut off Blog Talk. And I'm only going to be here another minute or so, if that anyway. But yeah, that is a fact. You know, it's like I always say, man, to be honest, it's as fans, it's always easy for us to say, oh man, this didn't happen. Oh man, that didn't happen. But in reality, it just didn't pan out, you know, and when it doesn't work, that's when we want to say that the team ain't doing nothing. It's not true. It's not true. Even with the quarterback position, they have tried. Okay, maybe Kenny Pickett wasn't the right choice. Okay, sitting him down and you know, after he got injured and throwing Mason Rudolph out there, it may have been the right choice at the time, but he wasn't the franchise guy. Okay, going after a guy like Russell Wilson and then trading for Justin Fields. I mean, they are trying. It might not necessarily be the move that you wanted, but we can't say that they're not doing anything. It's just that got rid of Matt Canada, now Arthur Smith. But I guarantee you somebody is going to say, man, they ain't doing nothing with the offense. They just keep the same offense over and over. No, that's not true. Like I said, even in the failed attempts, I can see, and I know he's not showing us his whole bag. I can see the vision of Arthur Smith already. I can see it. So that's how it goes, folks. What else? Rajon, yeah, the offensive line just needs to grow together. Facts. Dante Harris says some NFL teams' offensive coordinators didn't even call plays this weekend. They let their assistants call plays. Yeah. He says, also, I'm a diehard fan too, born and raised in the Burgh and played football from 8 to 22 years old. I get it. I just don't want to panic this early. I'm with you. I'm with you there, brother. We all want better. But like you said, yeah, I don't want to be feeling like I'm already breaking down. You know, we ain't even, y'all know my rule of thumb. Every year I tell y'all the same thing. I know what the team is after 6 to 7 weeks. Sometimes I stretch it to 7. But generally after 6 weeks, I say, okay, I see what is happening here. And I'm going to keep it that way. He says, wow, I just realized y'all been doing this show for a while. Glad I found it. Yeah, I've been here a good little time, man. I've been here a good little while. And what I probably should have done at some point is figured out when my first show was. And I don't even remember, man. Remember when I used to, I had a period where I was pre-recording the show. Then I had a period, remember when I used to stand up? I used to stand up behind a green screen and I'd be talking, standing in front of a thing. And then I had a period where it was just the camera and I had a fat head on the back of the screen, the wall. That was at my old house, my townhouse. Remember that? Then I went through a period where I had that photo, this one right here. See that photo? Remember when that photo used to be the background and I used to sit in front of it on a green screen? That's the same photo. I just had it made into a big picture, right? That's a photo that I took at Heinz Field. Heinz Field, not Acrisure. Heinz Field. Yeah, I've been around for a minute, man. Been around for a minute. Yeah, the picture was bigger, but remember, let me show y'all this. Because my pop said the same thing. My pop seemed to like, you know, he's like, man, whatever happened to that? You know, that scene that you used to sit in front of, looked like you was on the field. That's it. So that is the actual photo, right? Look at this. What's this right here? That's my PlayStation is reflected. But that is the actual photo. The only difference was what y'all saw about a year or so ago is I had the image on screen and I was sitting here and the green screen was there around me. and I just had the image on my computer. Get it? It's the only difference. But now it's just back there, right? It's just back there, along with the little couch. You see, little couch. Steelers throw on it. You know, got a little couple things back there, man. And I even got some more ideas. I don't know if I'll get to them, but we'll see. He said it was fire. I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw this photo, I was feeling it. Yeah, it was nice, man. But you know, sometimes you got to change it up. You know, you got to change up the perspective, man. And that's just me, because if I don't, I get bored. I get bored if I see the same thing too much. Too much. But all right, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate y'all rolling with me for so long, man. I appreciate everything y'all have done. I mean, anybody who's ever donated, anybody who will donate in the future, you know you definitely don't have to do that. He says that looks like a love. Can you better go ahead somewhere, man? Yo, I really do wish, man. I really do wish that I could have, me and Kenyon could have connected years ago, you know, and I could just only imagine. That's all I'm gonna say. Because me and Kenyon think a lot alike. We the same sign. His birthday is 2 days before mine. Man. And some of the stories this dude has told me, man, and I just know how I was in my younger heyday. That would have been interesting, man. That would have been interesting. Yeah. And yeah, 205, that's the thing. The episode, that ain't even this. Think about that. It was a time where I wasn't even, putting them in chronological order. I wasn't even naming the episode like that. So I've been around for a minute, man. For a minute. But all right, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to get out of here. And that's all I got, man. But look, before y'all go, man, please. Yeah, bro, let me tell you. Kenyon got it right. Please, please, please do me the one favor, man. Just hit the like button, man. That's simple. And if you want to do a little more, subscribe. You want to do a little more, share it. Make sure you share it. Share it. Share it with others. Hit share. Post it to your socials. That's all I ask. That's almost better than donating. Because it creates viewership. Because I would love, y'all want me to tell y'all what I would love real quick before I go. I would love nothing more than to be able to do something like this more on a full-time basis. Imagine that. I would love it. I would love to be able to make a real living doing exactly this. Not just YouTube, but just talking about the Steelers. Why not? Because this is something I enjoy. I like my job too, but you know what I'm saying. The only way for me to even get anything remotely close to being able to do something like that, it's up to y'all. Y'all gotta help me reach. Because YouTube and its algorithms, it just pushes little old me on down to the floor. So I need y'all's help, man. But anyway, appreciate y'all. We're going to keep keeping on. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Y'all know what I'm going to tell y'all each and every time. Stay safe. Stay healthy. It's crazy out here. Watch your back. Head on a swivel. God bless. Good night. Thanks for tuning in. And like always, I shall catch you in the next one. Peace.